Ninjas are top tier on the hierarchy of fighting game character archetypes. Think about any fighting game franchise and there has likely been a ninja on the roster at some point in the series. And if you picked Darkstalkers for that example, you have shown why I had to add the word likely to that last sentence. That being said, ninjas have always been popular in all media, and fighting games are no exception, backed up by all the viewer requests I've received to cover this topic, from people like Wicked Knight Abel, Collier Guerra, Pancake Ghoul, Yomitaki, Ino Yamanaka, second only in size to Mei, Ultimate Killer Combat X, and Extreme Games, and related to suggestions by Heavy Norse and Lord Cyrite. I hope I pronounced all those names correctly. You guys know I like to mispronounce things sometimes. The fighting game characters on this list simply have to be a ninja by definition, and I'll judge them on how well they represent their warrior class by everything they do in-game. And to set up the unfathomable, I will restrict each franchise to one character per series. This still includes characters that originated in other video games who later appeared on a fighting game roster. Really, this rule mainly limits one certain franchise that loves their ninjas, but we'll deal with that painful choice when we get to it. Oh boy, there will be a lot of notable omissions today with only 10 slots. So it's time for my top 10 ninjas in fighting games. Number 10, Answer from Guilty Gear. I know Chip has been with the series since the beginning and would qualify for this list, but this character's a businessman and a ninja at the same time. I love him when anything in the fighting game genre combines a standard warrior class and a normal profession or just something that's a mundane hobby. His business cards act as kunai and shuriken, or do his shuriken act as business cards? You know, that's the best way to advertise your company. Your client thinks they're being attacked in a battle, but it's actually just a deceitful, violent meeting the whole time. Since his normal size shuriken are business cards, he made his customary shuriken larger than average. Even his special moves that are commonly seen among ninja characters have fantastic names. Like when releasing his ninja scrolls, it's called Seal of Approval. His command grab is called Tax Write-Off, and his counter is called Data Logging. And that's just the tip of the cubicle-shaped iceberg for his business-themed attacks. Finally, when he summons his giant snake for his instant kill, it's wearing a tie. It's wearing a tie! All those details should explain by themselves why you gotta love this character. Number 9, Valentine from Skullgirls. My reasoning for liking her is on the same line as Answer, only she combines her nurse profession with being a ninja in about every aspect of her life. She was initially part of a group of ninja nurses known as the Last Hope, trained to defeat the Skullgirl. That's right, she wasn't just a nurse who went rogue. This is actually normal for the Skullgirl's canon. Then she was forced to work for the Skullgirl and became a catalyst for a bunch of other fun story modes. In a previous video, I spoke about why she's a great nurse that just happens to be a ninja. Now it's time to talk about why she's a great ninja who just happens to be a nurse. I love that nearly every ninja weapon she uses is combined with a medical-themed tool, or a cadaver. I think she might be the reason the city morgue misplaced all those bodies, and suffered that lawsuit. Hey, she may be fighting against evil, but she never claimed to be fully moral. Her surgical mask doubles as a ninja mask, showing how seamless some of these ninja nurse combinations can be. Instead of snapping your neck from behind, she gives you the laughing gas, which results in the same effect. Instead of throwing stars, she tosses dead crosses and upgrades them to become syringes filled with various poisons. No kunai for her, she uses scalpels or lollipops. And what's this? A hidden stethoscope? Tricks from the ground, tricks from above. There are so many visual gags jam-packed into her playstyle that I cannot cover them in just a normal-sized entry, which is why number 8 will also be Valentine from Skullgirls. Nah, that'd be a bad idea. Number 8, Taki from Soul Calibur. Personality-wise, there's not much to say about Taki. She's all about defeating evil and is serious basically all the time. On the other hand, she's my favorite character to play in the series. She's made of pure fun. Any gameplay footage in this segment will feature Taki's disciple Natsu or created characters with the same moveset, all of which have the same playstyle as good old Taki. Taki's gameplay is all about quick strikes, jumping around like a maniac, and utilizing her possession stance. That stance allows her to set up the opponent, making them guess which direction she could possibly attack from and how fast she will be. With her teleportation mixed in, Taki is strong when you can get some good momentum going and play some mind games with your foe. Her weapons of choice are dual short swords known as Kodachi. Shame we don't get to see her use them anymore. Taki appeared in every Soul Calibur until Soul Calibur 5, the game where Namco wanted to introduce a whole new place with a brand new attitude, so our stoic ninja was replaced with an arrogant anime protagonist who thought everything was lame and had Taki's near-exact moveset. To give Natsu credit, she at least has her own personality, and her playstyle is still made of pure fun and demons. She has a demon sealed inside her. Have fun dealing with that if we ever get another story mode in a future game. Number 7. Raven from Tekken. While Tekken's Yoshimitsu is classified as a ninja and has an infinite ceiling for being cool, I've always viewed him as a samurai based on his sword and armor, so we'll save him for when I talk about samurais in fighting games. Raven's presence just screams cool. You can't ignore those sunglasses. Raven's moves are reminiscent of a traditional ninja with his swift movement and melee attacks, and no ninja is unprepared without his shuriken, which are incredibly modernized, along with his knives. His mirage technique creates copies of himself, which hits pretty hard for an illusion. It's probably my favorite part of his moveset. His alternate costume puts on a more traditional ninja garb, but he removes the most iconic part of his outfit, the sunglasses. However, that's not as bad as what Tekken 7 removed from Raven, the whole character. He was omitted to include Master Raven, his superior. I'm not really sure what makes this character more skilled than regular Raven, since she plays just like Raven, but with a sword. If we gave Raven a sword, would he be just as strong as the Master?
Die. Mission complete.
Number 6. Hanzo Hattori from Samurai Showdown. His backstory can be found in a history book, since Hanzo Hattori was a real person. They never seem to cover his role in the Samurai Showdown series in his biography, though. You telling me his battle against Amakusa was completely fabricated? He is clearly skilled in his ninjutsu abilities and puts his sword to good use to keep up with all the samurais that are showing down. Showdowning? Fighting. He has other weapons that only come out when needed, like bombs and shuriken. Also, when he punches the ground, fire erupts out of it, which the history books never covered. Sir, how is that possible? Did Mai Shiranui learn her pyrokinesis skills from you? His other tricks are good applications of ninja tropes, specifically speed that creates the illusion of teleportation, and making shadow clones using logs or just nature. Finally, someone must have told Hanzo something that was really funny during the fight, since he's always laughing when the match ends. Must have been a good joke. Number 5. Ryu Hayabusa from Dead or Alive. There are more ninjas in Dead or Alive than I ever noticed. I guess if your developer is Team Ninja, I should not be surprised. So I'm going to go with one of the original video game ninjas in Hayabusa, who premiered in Ninja Gaiden and has been with the Dead or Alive series since the beginning. Lucky for him, Dead or Alive just happened to come out during the drought of new Ninja Gaiden games. It's good to know he had a job when the series was on hiatus, and in a fighting game to boot. His backstory from Ninja Gaiden was carried over since the Ninja Gaiden series exists in Dead or Alive games like Final Fight's relation to Street Fighter. If Hayabusa used all of his abilities from Ninja Gaiden, I think he might overpower every other Dead or Alive character. Even in fights he carries around his blade and kunai but never uses them. I guess slashing your opponent in half who's just using his or her fists would be an instant KO and manslaughter. Apparently the Dead or Alive tournament really prefers the alive portion of its title better. Hayabusa occasionally throws a Ki Blast in there and some Izuna drops for some visually stunning attacks, but for the most part, Hayabusa sticks with hand-to-hand and foot combat as his primary fighting style. Number 4. Strider Hiryu in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Strider Hiryu, the traditional future ninja. Is that an oxymoron? While Strider was initially included in Marvel vs. Capcom because of the popularity and legacy of the Strider game, with its minimal sequels, Strider has made a name for himself as a fighting game character in the Versus series. That's basically why he's always welcome in modern Capcom fighting games, no matter how little attention Capcom is giving his series of origin. Since he's from the distant year of 2048, not sure if that's considered close or far from now, his weapon is no ordinary sword. It's a plasma sword, and it can reach full screen. He also has futuristic satellites that can fire projectiles to prevent your foe from doing anything. Seriously, the hyper combo version of this attack makes your life miserable if you're against it. And since he's all futuristic, if I haven't used that word enough, his animal companions are robots. He still has standard ninja techniques that we can see from any ninja in any time period, like wall clinging and teleportation, known as Vajra. And let me tell you, Vajra feels like it always interrupts whatever you're doing in a battle. It's like when you're trying to... Call ignored? Anyway, it's like when you're trying to finish a sentence and... Ignored. It's like when you're trying to finish a sentence and your phone keeps ringing in the middle of it. There. Meh, just go to the next entry. Number 3. Bang Shishigami from BlazBlue. Bang Shishigami is the champion of justice. In the name of the moon, he will right wrong and triumph over evil. And that means you. Wait, I think I got some Sailor Moon mixed with my BlazBlue here. That being said, Bang basically has the same motivation in life. I discussed in my fighting game comic relief characters list why I love his over-the-top shonen style personality, so let's go into his moves. His astral finish has him push his opponent through a bunch of doors. Where do these doors lead you? I don't know, but the last one opens up the fate of your defeat. Bang doesn't carry around shuriken like any old ninja, he prefers giant nails instead, which is the basis for his moveset. Outside of being purely offensive, the nails stick to the background when he throws them, allowing him to jump off them for flashy combos or to cross up his opponent. My favorite nail-based attack in Bang's arsenal is his Steel Rain attack, where his umbrella does the opposite of its intended purposes as it only rains in the area covering anyone standing under it. Oh, and by rain I mean death, and by death I mean nails. Number 2. Ibuki from Street Fighter. I feel like Ibuki is the ninja of Street Fighter, even though she wasn't even the first ninja in the series, Geki. Hell, she wasn't even the second one, Guy. Though her edge on them is ever since she premiered in Street Fighter 3, she has eventually made her way into every main series game afterwards, along with spin-offs, as if she's been around since Street Fighter 2. Something about her was just always so cool. Her classic outfit is that of a standard ninja, but there's just enough uniqueness and personality in her design. She looks so serious, but breaks that stoic appearance when she wins a match or something goes her way mid-battle. Plus, she has hair for days and the pants of MC Hammer. Based on her attitude on the field, you'd expect her to be a studious ninja with how skilled she is at her craft and all the weapons held by her. However, when off the field, she's a normal teenage girl who wants to go to parties and meet cool boys. Also never appearing in fights is her pet raccoon named Don-chan that appears on artwork for Ibuki but never appears in story-based things, so I don't know how important Don-chan is to Ibuki, or what he does when she's not around.
The Guardians of the Galaxy are nothing without me.
Let's rapid fire some honorable mentions, since there were over 100 ninjas I could choose from. Here's the best from the rest. Kagemaru from Virtua Fighter, Geki and Gai from Street Fighter, Kuminitsu from Tekken, Mai Shiranui from Fatal Fury, Hokuto Maru from Mark of the Wolves, Kisaragi from Art of Fighting, the other Hanzo Hattori from World Heroes, Kasumi Hayate Nayane from Dead or Alive, Chip Zanna from Guilty Gear, Jago from Killer Instinct, Kohana from Arcana Heart, every Naruto character who has ever been in a fighting game, Greninja from Smash Bros, and every Mortal Kombat ninja not chosen for number 1 in the upcoming Mortal Kombat entry. So yeah, for number 1, I really wanted to go with a Mortal Kombat character, since the series has always had ninja rivalries and conflicts as a main element of its story, and when the series could not think of a new character, they just changed the color of any ninja character's outfit and formed everything else from there. Truly, I could have just made a top 10 list of only Mortal Kombat ninjas. And now that I've said that, let's just rapid fire those now too. Number 10, Cyrex. Number 9, Jade. Number 8, Reptile. Number 7, Ermac. Number 6, Smoke.
Smoke is dead. I am an Enra.
Number 6, Anenra, whatever you want to be called. Number 5, Katana. Number 4, Melina. Number 3, Noob Saibot. Number 2, this one is hard. Sub-Zero. I'm sorry, Sub. You were always my favorite, but based solely on ninja credentials, Scorpion beat you out just barely and is number 1 on this list. Scorpion is the leader of the Shirai Ryu, which is a ninja clan whose fighting style is more weapon and hand-to-hand combat based than the rival Lin Kuei clan, which focuses more on cryomancy after Sub-Zero took over, and some other styles like Smoke's ninjutsu and the use of cyborgs. Scorpion was the last of the Shirai Ryu for most of the series, since, strap in for this explanation, Quan Chi murdered Scorpion, his family, and his clan, and framed the original Sub-Zero for doing it, who Scorpion killed as a response, leading to Sub-Zero turning into Noob Saibot. And then Scorpion becomes rivals with Sub-Zero's younger brother, Kuai Liang, who took the title of Sub-Zero, with Scorpion becoming new Sub-Zero's ally in some situations, but then the timeline got rebooted, so we got a more clear-cut explanation on his status with the younger Sub-Zero. It all makes sense when you follow the series regularly and give me about 10 minutes to fully explain everything, I swear.
Our story ends here, Sub-Zero.
The point is, for a lot of the time we see Scorpion, he's a really angry devil ninja, whose lines mostly consist of yelling vengeance and blah, but not in the Hank Hill way. Scorpion was eventually brought back after Raiden did some magical god thing that revived the characters we wanted to see fight for good in the Mortal Kombat X story, which allowed him to finally end his rivalry of hatred with Sub-Zero and ally himself with the Protectors of Earthrealm. The Mortal Kombat creators just threw a bunch of ninja traits and moves into a blender and made up a moveset that developed into something special. He uses one of the most common ninja weapons with his short swords, and a ninja weapon we don't see often in fighting games, partially because Scorpion made it his signature move, and seeing this weapon in another fighting game will still make you think of Scorpion. His kunai with, I've made enough Yu-Gi-Oh references, it's his spear. It's the thing that everyone quotes from Mortal Kombat.
Get over here!
Even if you knew nothing else about Scorpion, you know the purpose of that chain is to bring your opponent over here. Outside of his weapons, he teleports to the other side of the screen for a punch. You could say him teleporting was a side effect of being a Spectre, but I like to think his ninja speed allows him to do that as an alive guy too. He just gets a cool afterimage when doing it as a dead guy. His life as a lost soul bent on revenge also gave him Hellspawn powers to enhance his skills, which stayed with him when he was revived in Mortal Kombat X, mostly because you can't change one of his main skills after 25 years. Just make up some magical reason why he can still do it. No one questions other things in Mortal Kombat that probably should be questioned. And I think that's enough Scorpion for this video, being my top ninja in fighting games. So, what are your thoughts? I know I had to leave off a bunch of cool ninjas from fighting games with so few slots, so let me know who you would have included that I did not get a chance to talk about. or your favorite ninja that I did discuss, or just write about ninjas and fighting games in the comments section if you don't feel like answering those questions. It's a big topic. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.